Okay, Lady Ada, what is this?
Hello and welcome to this week's show and tell. We got an exciting show and tell coming up for you. Half an hour of people from around the world showing off and sharing the projects that they're making.
We have guests.
And we have guests.
Yeah.
But whether it's 3D printing or electronics, writing games, or coding a website, whatever you're doing, come on by. We're here till 7:50. We're going to call on some Adafruit folks first. Maybe we'll also ask these people if we have time.
we should mention this. So everyone say hello to the MakeCode team.
Hey, some of the MakeCode team.
All right, so
Howdy.
Say your name and say hello.
Introduce yourselves.
Hi.
I'm James.
Hi.
I'm Pelly.
I'm Tom.
And they're MakeCode.
Not the whole team.
And then it's me, Lamar, and Phil, of course, as
That's right.
usual.
And in Ask an Engineer, we'll have a lot of things about MakeCode. We'll be chatting with some of the team here. And a lot of people have stopped by each week and showed their projects in MakeCode. So we'll see who's here this week. Maybe they're a MakeCode project. Maybe not. You never know. All right.
We have at least one person. All right,
Let's
you want to
start
kick it off with JP?
Yeah. I'm sure he has a MakeCode project.
Hey, JP, do you have a MakeCode project?
Hey, it's funny you should ask because yes, I do. I have been working on some Arcade animation this week. I'll show you. I've got a PyBadge here. I'm going to show this on a better camera in a second. I got a little PyBadge here. Let me flip over to it. And with my overhead, you'll be able to see the animation a little bit better. So here we go. It's a cute little dinosaur sprite doing a little walk cycle. And so on the workshop tomorrow and on my MakeCode Minute tomorrow and in my next Learn Guide, I'm going to do a whole bunch of stuff about doing sprite animations. And just to blow minds for a second here, I actually have two PyBadges joined together with some standoffs just so I can do this neat trick.
For this easy demo.
Easier demos. So this is one where I have our little character Ruby, who's an LED, and I have a real simple 2-frame walk cycle going right now, as well as a little idle animation where Ruby's eyes, after a second, will just kind of look forward. And I might, on Lamore's suggestion, I'm going to make this a little more sophisticated so that we do call a different animation cycle for left and right and up and down, so you can see how to do that based on the directions you're going and have different little sprite cycles. But this is something you can do fairly easily inside of MakeCode in the sprite editor and then in the animation extension for the calling on the animation, building the little cycles. It's a really nice, neat system for making it clear how that all works, which I think is sometimes a bit of a mystery for people in games, how these animations work. So I'm really excited about sharing this and showing people and creating some tutorials that will get people doing animation on their MakeCode in the browser, as well as on their devices if they put it onto the PyGamer or other hardware.
Very cool. And so that's a foldable PyBadge. So we're going to be competing with Samsung. Foldable. All right. Well, I mean, we're shipping. They're not. Or PyBadge DS, I guess that would be the other.
It's the DS one, yeah. I have that. I had that version earlier with them stacked 2 screens.
And your shows tomorrow, you're going to be showing all these things?
I will, yeah. And in fact, I'll put Pelly on the spot. We've been talking a little bit about multiplayer, and I was thinking if I mount these head-to-head, we could do like head-to-head football like in the old days on Coleco and wire the 2 PyBadges together so that multiplayer games can occur on 2 devices. So hopefully that's something that could one day be possible.
You heard it here first. He said,
It's coming.
Multiplayer.
Get ready for it.
We talked a bunch about it. So
this is the TMZ breaking news.
Yeah.
Electronic education channel.
In multiplayer on PyBadge is coming.
All gossip, all electronics.
All right.
All right. Thanks, JP. All right. Next up, let's go to Erin, and then Noe and Pedro, and then Bill. Is that okay?
Is that how you wanted to line it up?
Okay. Erin, what's a glowing?
Hey, so I'm working on a very pretty project this week. I'm working on beautiful little crystals. So this is a little crystal gem that I made, and it's just plastic, and then it's got a neopixel light inside so that it glows, and it's just freaking beautiful. It's using MakeCode too at the moment. Thanks, you guys. I love using MakeCode.
I was loving MakeCode.
Yeah,
it's great.
Definitely. And right now it's just doing rainbow. It's kind of inspired by the Steven Universe crystal gems. So I want to do one with Circuit Playground as well, so I can tie it in with the Cartoon Network stuff. So that's kind of exciting. I'm also making just a series of them that I can hang and dangle from chandelier that I'm working on. So that's going to be kind of exciting too. I'm very proud of how I did this. The outside of it is made of a flexible kind of plastic, and I went through all sorts of different materials trying to find something that I could cut on my vinyl cutter easily and then fold, and it wouldn't just break, and it was tough. But I finally came up with just using a piece of iridescent cellophane wrap from the craft store, and then laminating it with my laminating machine. So it turns out super simple, but it's exactly perfectly the right amount of flexible, and you can score it and cut it and fold it, and it'll hold itself together really nicely. And then it just takes crazy glue, and it just sticks. So very, easy to do and easy to put together. And I'm looking forward to adding a circuit playground and having, animated lights inside to see how a rainbow swirl inside will look. And
It's definitely got that opalescent look, which is really...
And there's a piece of crumpled up cellophane inside, which is sort of what's catching the light inside there too. So it really does look. Let me see if I can make it. I don't know if it's any better. Yeah, it really does. I think it's really cool. I think it would also work really well for a Gandalf staff project. Put it on the top of a staff. So. And it seems it's pretty. It's not going to break or anything. So, it's the sharp edges that really. It's so flat. You know what I mean? Because of the laminator, you get these sharp edges and these flat surfaces. That's what makes it really get past the uncanny valley of fake gems into no, this is really looks like a quartz crystal. Yeah, and I'm having trouble seeing it because I made it. It looks like crumpled up cellophane to me, but everybody else who looks at it is just whoa, how did you do that? So I think the illusion is working. Yeah. So. It's good. Okay. Good work. Thanks, Erin.
And then tonight on Ask an Engineer, when we're talking about MakeCode, we'll also talk about Cartoon Network, because when you go to MakeCode.Adafruit.com, you'll probably see some of the Steven Universe characters. So we'll probably mention that.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. I think it'll be about that. You can use it. You can use the characters. That's one of the cool things. A lot of young folks, actually more people, because there's the film this year, the Steven Universe film that's coming out in the fall. So there's a lot of people who do cosplay and make all the Steven Universe things. So now they can do it with MakeCode. That's that.
All right, thanks, Erin. All right, next up, let's go to Noe and Pedro.
Hey there, folks.
Good shirt on, thanks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I do have a MakeCode shirt. Yes. We have a glowy project as well. So this is a 3D printed lamp, really. It's supposed to look like a little flame here. Underneath it is Circuit Playground Express. Hello there. So we put it over there. It has some nice light diffusion. All it's missing now is a dragon. Dun, 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 dun.
So this works like one of those bird balancing little toys where it just balances right on the cone. So that's pretty cool. Like that. If I can get it to stay. Let's see. Let's see.
Maybe not the best lamp for people with cats.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can. Yeah, it's a little tough to see with the lights.
Sure.
On,
let me see if I can. Aperture.
There we go. Yeah, but it's pretty detailed. Really cool model made by the guys over at 3D Mod. We just did a whole show on how to actually print this entire guy without using any support material and getting the translucent material to work here. It works with the UV neopixels as well, so you can either have the Night King on there, or you can have one of the good guys writing there. And of course, it's programmed using MakeCode over there, or you can use CircuitPython as well. So any of those will work. And a nice little simple project to, as you've seen last night's film, sort of light up.
You might need a little extra light, yeah.
So a nice little simple project that gets a really cool result. Nice little glowing lamp for you there.
Excellent.
Yay.
We also did 3D Hangouts in the morning, and you guys can check that out. And there's a full learn guide on learn.adafruit.
Yeah, super cool.
And you guys also made a model for the PyBadge, right?
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Let's bring that up.
Let's bring that up. Yeah, so I got myself a PyBadge, and the first thing I like to do is to make a 3D model of it. Yay!
Handy.
Yeah, handy, right? So we have some plans and things, but if anybody would like, this is a free download in our GitHub repository.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Wee, spin.
Nice.
Excellent. Thank you, guys.
Okay, next up, Bill. It's good to see you.
Hi, folks. How are you?
Hey, all good.
So, by the way, that is not backwards. Maybe it's just us saying it backwards, but all their text is right on that. So, did it look backwards to everybody else too?
It's probably because they reversed it to reverse it, and you don't realize that it's already reversed.
Gotcha. So anyway, so how are you? I actually have a couple things to talk about. One, I should be waiting till next week to do it with Noah.
Nah,
But next and I will, but I'm going to sneak peek it. because next Wednesday I'm going to be on a plane to go meet my new grandbaby, who's going to be born hopefully tomorrow. So it's way more important than you guys. No offense.
Good.
But how you scheduled this all out?
I know.
Yeah, you got it. So I do want to show a couple things, and one of them, Lamore, I think you'll like. So one of the things we're going to talk about next week, although I'll hint it now, is the heat press that Noah and I have been working on. Now, Noah and I have spent a colossal amount of time on this, way more than we ever should have. But we've learned it. I've learned a ton. I assume he has too. I had never actually done a project using 2020, and I'm going to use this a ton. Whenever things are too big to 3D print and they're linear, this is the answer. It's completely the answer. And so I'm really glad that I did this. It works great. You know, it'll come back up like that. It'll hold it perfectly vertical to be able to, in my case, I'm doing lots of 1/4-20 into all of our switches, right? So we make these little switches that we give away, and we want to have 1/4-20 camera mounts in the bottom. See if I can make that a little brighter for you guys.
You see it.
Yeah. So to get these in, we've tried several different things. We've had like the T-nuts that come in from the other side, but there's no room in this one. We've had threaded ones that you turn in with a hex nut, and they just don't work well. And this completely works, right? So you basically line it up, and then you heat this up. It's not on right now. Press it in. It fits perfectly. They never come out. And it's really hard to do without the press because you can't hold it perfectly vertical. And this just works. And this looks really complicated. This was already printed. I didn't actually make that for the base. I just reused it. But really, if you look at the parts for this, it's an old soldering iron with LED lights down here, a $2 pulley, and a T-slot post, and some wheels. And like that's everything else is 3D printed, and this thing's going to save us a ton of time. So that is great. The other thing I really want to show Lamore. So I'm going to spin you upside down for a second here. Sorry. Sorry. Have you seen this, Lamore?
Looks like an elephant. What's going on here?
Okay. If you didn't say, oh yeah, I've seen it, I'm really happy.
No, I haven't seen it.
So this is from Brigham Young University. Has a thing called the Compliant Mechanism Research Lab, and we are partnering with them to actually make a switch that is super small and super lightweight. But this is their demo, and I got a quiz for you. So if I push right here on the elephant's tail, what do you think is going to happen to this hole? Do you think it's going to? Where do you think it's going to move up, move into his mouth, go up on its nose? What do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to move up into its mouth.
Okay. So let me just show you. Everybody else can take their quick bets. It doesn't move at all.
Wow.
Right? And there's no trick here. It's all being done with these things that are called compliant mechanisms. So these are things that are, but when you're using flexible materials, and this is just PLA. It's not anything fancy. You can actually trick these into being kind of both a hinge and a spring at the same time. And what it lets you do is to make really small, really specific ligatures and other mechanisms that are small enough that you can print them as a single piece. This is a single piece that's printed, and it's super cool. So
yeah, super cool.
I reached out to Brigham Young about this because I thought it might help us make some of these really small switches that we can't make light touch enough because it's just complicated, right? And they said sure, but there's actually one of our professors has moved to University of South Florida, which is right here near me. So this morning I went over to USF and met with Craig Lusk, who's a professor there, and we are actually going to be making super small, lightweight switches and bringing not just availability and low cost to AT. We're actually going to bring some innovation to it, which I think is a lot of fun. So that's the other thing I really wanted to make sure we brought up. So I'm really happy about that partnership. And then just the other things that I've learned on this, maybe one that's kind of what you wouldn't have guessed. I always thought that if I was going to need weights for like that counterweight, I'd just buy fishing lead. It's insanely expensive. And you can buy these.
Yeah, but it's like lead too. You're like, how is this like 50 cents per piece? It's lead.
It's $5 a pound, which is nuts. That's like steak, right? So in the same aisle, you can buy BBs, copper-plated steel BBs for under $1 a pound. So if you're making counterweights, this is the right answer. So
Yeah.
Other than that, I think I'm good. Noah is doing a similar project to me. Basically, he started it. I loved it. I needed one, and then I spent way too much time on it. And we've kind of merged all of our research, and he's going to have a great one that goes up in a guide, I think, next week.
All right.
Outstanding stuff, Bill.
Yeah.
That's a cool mechanism. All right.
Yeah, neat.
Melissa is going to be at PyCon soon, but
yeah.
you haven't left yet.
No, I'm probably going to be leaving right after this. So I made a, looks like it turned off here. Hold on just a
Did you run out of
second.
battery?
No, it started up again. I don't know what happened. I think I hit the reset button.
Okay.
Okay. So made a little badge here with the PyBadge.
Hello, my name is Melissa.
Yep.
There you go. Now we can see it.
Yeah.
So it's actually a badge. To work.
Yeah. So I just used display IO and I used just the display shapes and some labels and just created that pretty quickly.
Nice. And you can easily change your name if you want to go.
Exactly. And it centers and everything like that.
We will know who that is.
Okay, and you're going to be at PyCon, and you're going to be doing some of the workshops or sprints or other things with the team?
Yep, I'll be there tomorrow. I'm going to be heading out of here just after the show until now.
Okay, great. One thing, we did get confirmation all 4,000-ish Circuit Playground Expresses made it. So attendees will each get one, so they'll be able to do cool projects and more. So, yay.
Yeah. So that badge is going to be a little bit of like a beacon. People are going to be like, you know something about this?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, very cool. All right, and yeah, JP got this.
No.
It's
It's still running.
Yeah.
I like it, like a little dinosaur, but it has like no arms. It's like,
This
ah,
dino's so
Yeah,
cute.
I have no legs.
All right, well,
It's
that's
like
our show and
Avatar
tell for the
mini.
week. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Pedro.
No, thank you, Melissa. Thank you,
JP.
JP. Thank you, Erin. Thank you,
And thank you, Bill,
Bill.
and his compliant mechanisms.
That's so cool.
All right. Okay, we'll see everybody next week. Thanks for making this the best half an hour of our week every single week. Show and tell, we will be doing a mobile broadcast, so we'll see how it works out.
Next week.
Exciting. But assume that we'll be around in some way, shape, or form next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And Ask an Engineer is up at 8 p.m. See you in about 10 minutes.
Bye, folks. See you soon.
Bye-bye.